Hi there, my name is Jeremy College. I'm a Qigong teacher and a medical Qigong teacher and healer. I've been working with Qigong for 35 years. Of late, I have had a course to think about heart health, and so I thought I'd create a short video for you here. Over the last 3, 4, 5 years, we've had problems, obviously our pandemic, but more and more heart problems seem to be arising, and whether it was something to do with the vaccine, whether it was something to do with the actual virus itself, there seem to be a lot more compromised hearts around. And so I was just thinking that perhaps I could do a video that might help people to understand how they might strengthen their heart function and power themselves up again. So this video has got 2 or 3 exercises in it, but before we begin, I'd like to say that before you do these exercises, it would be good for you to do my warm-up exercises. So if you go to my website, quantumqigong.co.uk, and you have a look on the resources page, you'll find a link to my warm-up set. Or if you go direct to YouTube and search at Jeremy College, then you'll be able to find my warm-up set directly on YouTube. Some exercises to get you going with turning your waist and then some simple forward and back bends. But the whole point about them is that they get the energy flowing in your body, they open and release all the muscles in the body, and that's a very good place to start doing the exercises I'm about to show you now. So don't just plunge straight into these exercises, warm up first and then do these exercises. Okay, with that said, the first exercise I'd like to show you comes from the medical Qigong canon. We can start with our feet quite wide apart, our knees bent and our backs nice and straight. The idea is to imagine the image of a football-sized red ball of Qi. And so we have this lovely red ball of Qi and we hold it in front of our chest, about the size of a football. The way this exercise works is the lower hand always moves towards the elbow. So I've got my lower hand, the right hand, and I'm going to move towards my right elbow. And as I move towards my right elbow, the lower hand flips out, comes up, palm faces away, and it creates the sort of top of a T shape. You push with the T, and then the upper hand, as it was, becomes the lower hand here, and it pushes like a T. Here's the capital T shape. And then always the leg of the T turns to make the bottom of the ball. The other hand goes over it, and here we are. I've reversed. Now my left hand's on the bottom. So that would mean my left elbow is going across, my left hand comes across, my left hand goes up to make the top of the capital T, and this was the top of the ball. It's now pushing underneath to make the leg of the capital T. So we have this T shape, okay? That's how we remember the exercise. Always the leg turns to be the bottom, draw across. Always the bottom hand turns out to be the top. Push. Curve underneath, across, push. Okay, so let's talk about the detail of this now. This sideways push, we're activating the heart channel that runs up the arm and the heart channel on the other arm. And so we can't push against anything because there's nothing here. So we create what's called a false push. You bend your elbow, bend the wrist, bend the fingers, and really feel that you can tighten all the muscles in your arm, tighten the muscles in your hand, as if you were really pushing against the side here. The same is true for this. Push, and try and get the hands level with each other as if you were actually pushing against a wall as you tense the muscles, tense all the way along, tense all the way along, push, and then relax, carve the bottom of the ball, draw the ball across, up to the other side, tense as we push, tense forearm, tense shoulder, tense, push, and then relax, bottom hand underneath, top hand across. Okay, so the next thing we're going to look at is breathing. There's a breath with this as well. We can breathe in the center. We can move across to the left-hand side. Left hand goes to the top of the T. Breathe out as you push. Breathe out through the nose. Right hand curls underneath. Breathe in as we come to the center. Right hand goes up to the top. Exhale and push. Everything is tension. Breathe in, relax. Push and create tension. Breathe in and relax. Push and create tension. So So you realise that I'm not really moving an awful lot from side to side. It's just a sort of small movement in the hips, and then the push, the small movement in the hips, and then push. So my weight is probably 70% on this leg as I push against the wall here, and then the weight shifts evenly into the middle. Confused myself because I stopped in the middle there. So when we're always at the middle of the exercise, the weight is evenly distributed, and then as we go to the other side, weight shifts 70% onto the outside leg, 30% on this leg, and gentle push. Draw across, draw across. Not as quick as I'm going. Take your time. How many would we do? Maybe 12 on this side? Oh, sorry, 12 on each side. And then we can come back to the center and just let the hands settle. I'd recommend you do this whole exercise set 3 times a day, morning, noon and night. So this is the first part of it, doing our heart exercise with the T shape. The next exercise comes from Qigong. Bring the feet together and then bend the knees again. Okay, so there's a very simple exercise. We do an exercise called lift you up, port you down, where you push out and you pull in. But this is a sort of a variant on that. What we're hoping to do is to get a circular motion in each shoulder. As you pull the shoulder right into the socket, you feel the shoulder sort of move into the middle of your back. And then you try and drop the whole shoulder blade down your back, and then you push out with the heel of the hand. So we get this up, in, down, out, this kind of rolling round of the shoulder. And as this shoulder pulls in, the other one stretches out. And then this shoulder pulls in, and this one stretches out. Pull in, drop it down, pull in, drop the shoulder down, pull in and drop down, pull in and drop down. And we can start to flow with it. So as your shoulders loosen up, you can start to bring a real nice 1980s vibe, break dancing roll to the whole exercise. Drop in, let the shoulder drop in, let the shoulder drop. Okay, so how long? A couple of minutes maybe, just to loosen the shoulders up. And then pause, stretch out, push out. So we're pushing out with the heel of the hand, pushing out and extending. Nice long straight push across the shoulders. Knees a little bit bent, just gently looking forwards. So this is called pushing the mountains. It can be quite a strong exercise because what initially you try to do is to use your muscles to keep the arms up. But that's never going to work because the muscles after a couple of minutes are just going to be shaking and giving up. The only way this exercise works is if you relax, if you soften into the exercise. You have to try and think beyond your shoulders, out to your hands, because your shoulders start to sort of scream and pain in the shoulders. Go past it. There's something that's required, which is a gentle, internal determination. Of course, what we've got here is the heart channels stretched out, opening the heart channels, opening the center of the chest, opening the shoulder blades behind. Our last exercise relaxed them. Now we're opening them. Makes the chi flow really well through your heart. Keep gentle breathing. There's a story that goes with this exercise. It comes from Dr. Pang's Medicines Hospital in the 90s. There was a gentleman who arrived there and basically he said, the doctors have looked at my heart and they say that I've got deterioration of the heart muscles on one side. And they've told me that it's going to happen on the other side of my heart as well. And so basically what I need to do is to wait until both sides have deteriorated and then I can have only one operation rather than 2. It'll be cheaper. So he came to the centre and first of all he discovered the rolling the shoulders and lift you up, put you down, and eventually discovered this exercise. And he decided one night, I'm going to keep doing this exercise. So when all of his fellow students went to bed, he continued, relaxed, softened, just kept going. Gently allowed himself to go through the sensation, knowing it was going to help him. The next morning when they woke up, he was still there. And so he then said, I think I've healed my heart. And they took him for a scan. And of course, when they scanned him, his heart was healthy, completely healthy. He'd moved through the illness. So how long to hold this for? I've done sessions in Scotland where we stayed for 20, 30, 40 minutes. Okay, so when you get to the end of the exercise, don't just drop your hands down. Come down very slowly, gently. So how long would I recommend you start for? 3 minutes, 5 minutes, slowly building up. Bring your hands down ever so slow. And then eventually bring the hands and let them rest on your belly. Allow the chi to gather deep inside your belly. One of my teachers gave us a lecture which was entitled The Bell Curve of Pain. That was quite a lecture. But basically what he was saying was that the pain starts out and then very quickly it becomes quite powerful, and then it maintains its power for a little while, and then suddenly it drops off and disappears. And so you have to trust that you can go past that curve and come down the other side. And I've experienced it myself many times. The moment where suddenly you think, where did the pain go? And you're just standing there in the posture and you don't think you would be able to manage it, but you can. The reason for that is that your chi supports you. You can almost imagine like chi propping your arm up so that you continue to hold. So just trust in the process. Just trust that by doing these exercises, you're improving the quality of your heart. I think that there's every possibility that you can heal any heart illness using these exercises. So really, the thing that makes the difference with Qigong is persistence and continuation. If you think you're going to do this for 2 or 3 days and everything will be fine, you've missed the point. But if you're prepared to hang in there for a while and work away with this exercise, and as I say, try and do it 3 times a day. Try and expand the length of time you're doing each of the exercises for. And then eventually we always come back to this closing posture. You can rub the tummy 3 times in one direction, rub it 3 times in the other direction. We come to the end and you can feel that that's it all finished. Settled, back, sorted, everything fixed, everything working well, back to your normal daily life as it were. Maybe you should do those exercises 3 times a day. Okay, so at the end of a Qigong set, we always say Haola. Haola means good already. Everything we've been working on is now fixed. So we put our hands up in the air. 1, 2. Haola. 1, 2. Haola. 1, 2. Haola. We have a salute for each other. Right hand underneath, left hand on top. Thank you very much for watching this video. I hope that it helps heal your heart or your friends' hearts. Please send this video around the world to anybody who might benefit from it. As I say, my name is Jeremy College. I have Zoom Qigong classes which you can join. I have classes here in Bath in the UK which you could also join if you're local. I also do one-to-one sessions online to suggest an entire healing package for you. So thank you very much.